How you doing, everyone? Welcome. Let's get stringing. One of my customers just dropped off a matching pair of the newly released Wilson RF01 PROs. Not one, but two of them. Here they are. They're beautiful rackets with leather grip. I'll post a few more detailed pictures somewhere. So it's a 16 by 19 string pattern. The specs are 320 grams unstrung. That's 11.3 ounces. Feels pretty headlight in my hand. Yeah, it says 9 points headlight, 31.5 centimeters. It's 98 square inch head size, as opposed to the previous Pro Staff 97. Recommended tension 50 to 60 pounds. Beautiful frame here. It's got different, quite a few different feature or technologies listed on Wilson's website. One of them has to do with the aerodynamic edges. It's no longer boxy. It's kind of like a pure aero-like taper. And there are details in the throat here, as well as at 12 o'clock. On the other side of the throat, it says Roger plus Wilson, designed and engineered for the next generation of creative tennis players, Chicago, USA. So beside this heavier 320 gram version, they also released the regular one called RF01 instead of 01 Pro, as well as another one that's called Future, with a slight different specs difference. I believe the Future one is much lighter. It's like either 280 or 285 grams, I'm not sure. So it'll be more suitable for even more players who are younger, or women, or the older player. So I'm gonna string it up with the customer's go-to links towards strings at 52. So let's get it mounted up with the Wilson butt cap, in this case the RF butt cap, pointing up. Well, got it set to 52 pounds. This racket has 6 grommets in the throat, so we're starting from the throat. Some people say that the paint job reminds them of a hybrid between a Blade and an Ultra. And I've also read that some people think that it's actually closer to a shift mode in a new paint. I don't know, I haven't tried them out yet. I will continue to monitor the reviews. Maybe if there's getting so hyped up like everything else, and I might get sucked into trying it. Maybe if I get to hit with this guy a little bit later. Maybe he'll let me try it. Yeah. It's a standard 16 by 19 string pattern with skips, grommet skips at 7 and 9 up in the head as well as down in the throat. Yeah, I was surprised that the Wilson release of this racket keeps showing me ads everywhere. It's on social media, and lo and behold, customer drops me off a couple to string. The legendary Roger Federer. Really miss watching him play and his style. He's a legend. He retired 2-3 years ago, I think, at Laver's Cup. I kind of have a suspicion that that's what Rafa Nadal might do this year. After the Olympics, which is just ending right now, he has already pulled out of the US Open, and I think the next event he's participating in is the Laver's Cup. So he might do a retirement act right there then, just like what Roger did. If that's the case, good for him. I mean, I'm a big Rafa fan, and that's a big reason why I started using Babla Aero Pro drive rackets, the 2011 version as well as the 2013 version and onward. And then recently I've used pure arrows as well. So, but hey, I think it's better to quit at the top than letting it drag on and won't look that good. But yeah, even after Roger's retirement, his rackets and his equipment and everything still sells great, I think. If it doesn't, then Wilson wouldn't have released this version when the man is not even on tour. It shows how much influence and fan base that he still has. I'm sure it'll gradually go away, but not yet. Had a long day yesterday at Sectionals, representing the men's 40 plus 3.5 league out of New Jersey against 4 other teams from New York. The New York teams are each from Long Island, Metro, North, and South area of the New York State. And they were tough. We ended up, long story short, we ended it up in 3rd place. We had high hopes. We were confident going in. We thought we were going to nationals. We thought we were good enough. And it turned out, reality hits. We learned our lesson. I'll talk more about that later as I do the crosses on this racket. Now that I'm looking at this frame for a while, I can actually see that there's a color shift. When you move your eyes from the throat toward the head, it gets lighter. You see over here, it's lighter gray, and then it becomes even more lighter, but yeah, that's why there's more light reflection, it's shinier. Down here, it's, even though it's black, but it's looks like it's less glossy, like more matte like. I mean, it's definitely not matte, but less glossy down here, more glossy up here, even with the silverish color. So we had a first skip over here on the 7th grommet for the 7th string. I used the 8th grommet instead of the 7, both down here and up top as well. So once again, skips at 9th grommet hole up here, 9th grommet hole down the bottom, and use the 10th grommet hole instead for the 8th string. %, tie off tension more, 10% more added. Customer can't wait to try his new racket. He wanted them done last night, actually, while I was at the Sectionals. I was even willing to pay for it to be expedited. And I said, I'm sorry I couldn't make it back until late because after we played the sectionals, we had to stop in the restaurant as a team to kind of celebrate and gather our thoughts and look forward to the future collaboration. So I'm starting the crosses now. Nothing special stringing this racket. Everything is about the same as any other ordinary racket. So starting in grommet hole number 11, that's for the third cross. The experience of going to nationals, going to sectionals. I've never been to nationals. I wish. We were disappointed because I thought we would be going this time. For my first time. Others have done it. Some captains and some of my teammates in their younger days or earlier days, they have gone nationals, and it's quite a bit of experience. But this sectionals experience was great. It was somewhere in Port Chester, New York, at I don't know if it's private or a public club. I'm sure that the swimming pool, whatever other portions of it, is private. It requires membership. Maybe the use of courts too. But it was great atmosphere with, picnic-like areas for people to sit. They serve food there. We get vouchers. Every player get food vouchers, so you don't have to worry about lunch. There's a lot of trees. Some trees that provide some shade. Areas of lawn areas for people to set up a family-oriented environment. It was great. I wish I brought my family, but it was long. It was supposed to start at 11 o'clock, and with the last match scheduled at 4, but because we had some rain, things got pushed back. So all three teams, from the first place to the third place team, we all went 3-1 as a team record. So we tied in the team record department, but before we were even done with playing our afternoon match, one of the team got notified that they already qualified for nationals, and actually celebrated, took pictures with the sectionals champion banner. So what happened was they already knew that even if they're tied in the team record with the second place and third place team, they would win the overall court win count, aka individual court wins. They had 14 court wins, but yeah, either case, nobody would be able to catch up to them. So after that, we were hoping to compete to finish our last matches and get second place. God forbid if the first place team, if they're not able to go to Orlando for the nationals, then we will be the next in line. And as it turned out, we tied with the overall court count with the second place team, I believe. So after that, they will be looking at the next column, which is the overall set win counts. And it turned out they were able to differentiate. With that, we ended up in 3rd place. So we didn't even make 2nd place. But hey, out of 5 teams, we're in 3rd place, exactly in the middle. I think we should be pretty proud of ourselves. I mean, for me, it's an achievement. Even though I went 0-3 in sectionals. More to explain on that. Went 0-3. Because on Friday, that's the first day of the sectionals, they had me play an afternoon match. Pretty much each team played a total of 4 matches. Two matches on Friday and 2 matches on Saturday. So on Friday, they had me play an afternoon singles match against this guy. I mean, they probably didn't know how good this guy was. His dynamic rating was like a 3.6 or 3.7, I think. It was way above mine. Mine is only a 3.4. So I lost to him 6'3", 6'4". Put up a good fight, but he's much taller than me. Good court coverage. A lot of these guys are tall in sectionals. So he came up to the net a lot, put overheads away. So I lost to him. And then yesterday's 2 matches, I didn't play singles. They had me play doubles for both matches, and I lost both of them. I mean, me and my partner, I had the same partner for both matches. We lost both of them. So a lot of these sectionals players, doubles players, I mean, they would come up and do double volley. They covered the net so well that it would be very hard to pass them on. So another thing I want to mention was the sides and as well as between them. And we were forced to try to lob balls over them, and if we're not being careful, our lobs become low and short, and they would smack it away. And their net guys are so versatile with such good touch. They're able to create short slide drop shots into the corners, and as soon as they notice our baseline player is a little bit further behind the baseline, they would drop it short, and we lose pretty bad. I'm not even gonna mention the scores. There's no point. And what's more ridiculous is that the second match we lost, the second doubles match that we lost, our opponent turned out to be 3.0 self-rated players, as we were told by them. I didn't believe that. We were supposed to be, on paper, we were high 3.5s. I was hoping to get bumped up to 4.0 if I was able to win a couple of more matches in sectionals or before year end. And yet, I get my ass kicked by a couple of self-rated 3.0 players. And in actuality, in reality, their skill level, there's no way they're 3.0. So by beating us, they're definitely going to get bumped up to computer rated 3.5 at the minimum. I mean, that just shows you the system is, I wouldn't say flawed, but it's not accurate. It just depends on what players want to get out of it. Some players don't want to get bumped up. I mean, I want to bumped up. Some players, they rather get bumped down all the time so they can continue to kick ass in the lower rated league. That's not what I'm after. So for those players that don't want to get bumped up, a lot of times they would appeal. They appeal themselves down. And I was asking one of the ref there. I said, it's a good thing that he beat us 6-love. Our matches were played alongside of a lot of women's teams. And some of them are 5.0 teams. These ladies were so solid. Some of them are good build. You could tell that they're, by looking at their look and their build, they're just natural tennis players. A little bit taller, on the taller side, slim and not so skinny. They were solid 5.0s. You can tell from their baseline shots, their mid-court approaches, their volleys, the speed of their first serves. That really opened my eyes. I mean, as we were waiting to get on court, our whole team actually sat and watched the 5.0 ladies match. It was quite an eye-opening experience, and it made me realize certain things, that even though they're not pros, they making their shots look so effortless and simple compared to how much effort I put into my shots and the results that come about. So make me realize perhaps I'm doing too much work and putting too much work into every shot without high enough of a success rate. And I don't think it's a technical flaw on my part. It's just, I think it's had to do with the amount of training that I received in my younger days, you know, formal training, which is literally none. I'm sure some of these girls grew up and their parents spent money sending them to clubs, local clubs, and they played growing up. I'm not trying to be a sour grape, I'm just stating the fact. There's no point comparing myself to them anyways, with the age disparity and everything. I could only look forward, see what else I could do to improve my game. That's where I'm coming from. So I have no problem saying they're much better than us. I'd much rather learn from these 5.0 girls than any pros, because at the 5.0 level, they're technically D1 level college players. I'm sure some of them do play for D1 teams, if not all of them. And I was told that even D2s are not 5.0s. I don't know how correct that is. They said that D2s are only 4 5s. Yeah, and oh, that reminds me, I also noticed this really slim and young Asian girl playing in a 5-point doubles match as well as a singles match she played later on. She was so skinny, not so tall, but her overheads were like so crisp and solid and effortless. You could just tell, and her backends are like pinpoint accuracy and effortless, smooth. got a lot of talents around here. So I hope that whoever's going to nationals represent the Northeast. Hope they represent as well. That's what our opponent at the regionals, at the New Jersey regionals, told us. Represent. Make sure you do a good job representing New Jersey. Well, we tried our best. Now, me personally, having just started playing doubles, like literally just a few months ago, and for USTA, I realize I have so much learning to do, so much to catch up for it in a doubles match. Me as a baseline player, unless I get partner up with somebody who's more skilled at net play, I would just have no chance. Because yesterday, both me and my partner were both baseline players, and whenever we get an opportunity to put short balls away at the net, we will mess up at least half of them. Easy shots. We were just late at going up, pushing forward. Quite a few of them, like I would get my racket on it, and I would literally just kind of flick it over with some slices. It'd be okay if I could get it to like spots that are impossible to get to, like what Jerify does. Or if you're a really good net player, you would kind of punch it away. It's like do or die punch. Even if you punch it in front of them, but if it's hard and solid, punch it at their foot. If it's hard and fast enough, they wouldn't be able to react in time. And we weren't even able to do that. So we'll give away our advantage by sending them some soft net balls for them to punch it away. Sure, I need to work on that. Be more solid and skillful, and punch. There's a coach on our team. He said that you really have to punch the ball with the legs by stepping into the punch without actually any backswing, because a lot of times, bad volleyers, they tend to do backswings, which takes time away from your volley reaction time. You actually want to keep both hands in front of you as much as possible. Just push into the ball without any backswing, if at all. Because by the time you bring your arms back, you lose so much reaction time already. Like the coach said, if you have time to do backswing, then you have time to stick your arms out and punch forward. That makes sense. And I'm sorry to say, looks like our captain, along with half of the team members, are getting bumped up to 4.0 next year. That's the sad part about losing to 3.0 players. I mean, if the result counts towards my rating, I'm not 100% sure if they will or not. Chances are they will. That would mean that officially I'm still a 3.5 for next season, and we won't have the same we won't have the same captain. And we were worried about with half of the team being gone to 4-0, there won't be enough players to form a 3-5 team. We'd have to recruit them from outside or somewhere. So I don't know. I mean, part of me is trying to is feeling like screw this whole doubles thing. I'm more natural of a singles player. But looking on the bright side, I'm thinking, hey, doubles could be fun, and it's a new skill. Most people play doubles, so why can't I play good at it? Be good at it. My only complaint with the 40 plus league, and this isn't the case with 18 plus league. 18 plus league plays 2 singles courts, but 40 plus league plays only 1. So they let our top singles guy, he's like 55 years old. He went undefeated this season, so they know they can. Captain knows he's dependable. They can count on him. He's got the highest success rate. I mean, look at the day before yesterday. The only chance they give me to win a singles match, we didn't win it. I didn't win it. The team didn't win it. The team went 1-4 that day for that match. Only got 1 court for that match. Part of it has to do. Part of it has to do with the fact that our lineup wasn't done optimally. It's kind of hard to explain. You kind of have to, as a captain, kind of have to anticipate, kind of calculate what the other team might do to their lineup. Who's gonna play D1? Who's gonna play D? Who's gonna play D2, D3, and D4, etc. They're playing this game of the chicken game. Some teams will put their weakest doubles at the D4 spot instead of the normal D1 spot. So you kind of have to calculate what are the chances of that, and are you gonna do the same thing to match their strategy? So in that match, obviously we guessed wrong. The 4 courts that we lost, they were hard fought. We had some chances of winning, but we couldn't convert. The only court that we did win was D4, and our D4 was actually either D1 or D2 on our team. And we won with a 6-1, 6-love result. So obviously, they didn't switch. The opponent didn't switch. They did put their weakest team at the D4 spot. So in that regard, we kind of screwed ourselves. If they were able to do the lineup a little bit better or guess more correct, perhaps we win a couple more courts. That would be a totally different tournament. And also our fate was kind of depend on what our opponents do as well. There were one team with a really good singles guy that gave our singles guy a big challenge, and it turned out that later on he couldn't beat the team that his team lost to the team that advanced to nationals, like 2 and 3. They lost because their singles guy lost the match too. So had him be able to win, then they would be able to eliminate the team that was advancing. Can you believe that? So it's just how things go. It's a little bit like throwing dots at dartboard, trying to guess what your opponent might do. Yeah, I wish they have 2 doubles courts for the 40 plus league as well. Come on, we have people who are capable and enough of playing singles, not just one person out of the entire team. It's kind of not fair for everybody else, especially for those who can and want to play singles. I don't know what your thoughts are. Sorry if I let this video drag on for too long. Playing with a buddy at 5 o'clock today. Racket. So far, I forgot to mention that both of these rackets, they have matching weights. They both weigh 321 grams, which is amazing. So yeah, I'll put it. Be sure to put the spec in the beginning of the video. You know, on to the second one.